Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is your microflora of milk equipments. Okay, so we all know that the equipment which are used for in the industry in the manufacturing industry of the milk are also uh, disinfected. Okay, otherwise this the microorganism which are present into this equipment are transferred into the milk. Okay, so basically what happened, suppose that this is your instrument. Okay, now when milk are passes through this, different instruments are there. Okay, so when these milk are passed through this equipment, there are debris are formed. Okay, which means that some milk portion will accumulate inside the equipment. Okay, and it cannot be wash out with the help of normal water. Okay, it cannot be washed out with the help of this normal water. So for removing of this, we need a deep cleaning. Okay, otherwise, if this debris, sorry, deep, deep cleaning. Okay, otherwise, this debris, if left for a longer time, then here the growth of microorganisms will occur. Okay, when the growth of microorganisms are occur, suppose that this is your microorganism. Okay, now when we uh, we transport this milk through this equipment, then microorganisms are mixed with the milk and will contaminate it. Okay, so this is how this equipments are contaminate the milk. And here in today's lecture we are going to discuss about the microflora of the milk, microflora of milk equipments. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. Now we all know that this milk is what? Milk is a simply white liquid and it is produced by the mammary glands of the mammals. Okay. And this milk are a very rich source of the different ingredients, and it is very helpful for the growth and the development of the young ones. Okay. And even it will useful for the older age people whose bone are very weak. Okay, so the nutrition which are present in a milk are there is like carbohydrates are present, fats are present, proteins are present, minerals, vitamins, all these things are present. Okay, now see what is written in a slide. This milk is what? Milk is a white nutrient rich liquid which is produced by the mammary glands of the mammals. Primary source of nutrition for the young ones. Around 6 billion people consume milk products globally. Okay, now the next one is your okay, properties of the milk. We all know that this milk are what? Milk have a fat globules, okay, and smaller caseins are present. They are yellow-orange carotenes, which provide the creamy yellow color to the milk. Okay, it contain around 30 to 35% of protein, and it is present per liter of the milk, and around 80% of caseins are arranged. Okay, oligosaccharides are present, different vitamins are present like your A, B6, B12, C, D, K, and different minerals like your magnesium and calciums are present. Okay, so that's why this milk are have a high nutritive value. Now see what is written in a slide. Wide emulsion or collide of butter fat globules. Fat globules and small casein micelles impart opacity. Yellow-orange carotene, which provide creamy yellow color, contain 30 to 35% of protein per liter of milk, 80% which is arranged in casein micelles. Oligosaccharides, vitamins like your A, B6, B12, C, D, K, minerals like calcium, magnesium, etc. are also present. Okay, now the next one is your microorganisms in raw milk. Okay, when a product are highly nutritive, okay, this milk are considered as a perishable product. Okay, perishable product. When the microorganisms contained in the milk are high, sorry, when the product have a higher nutritive value, then it is very high chance that the microbial growth in that product will also high. So this raw milk are what? Raw milk are a perishable product. So that's why there is a higher chances of that the growth of the microorganism will also high. Okay. So both type of microorganisms are present in milk. Some are good and some are bad. Now this bad microorganism will spoil the milk. That's why this raw milk are immediately heated at least for 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Okay, that is called a pasteurization. So that's why it is heated at that temperature. Now we are going to discuss about the microorganisms in raw milk. So this milk are sterile at secretion in the udder but get contaminated by several bacteria as it leaves the udder. Okay, so at the time of the secretion, this milk are totally pure. Sterile means that it is free from any type of microorganism. Free from any type of microorganism at the time of the secretion. But immediately, like within 1 to 2 minutes, okay, it will contaminated by the several bacteria which are present around the environment. That's why the sterilization condition of the milk will decreases. Now further the number of the microflora in milk can be increased. Okay, now as time passes, the number of the microflora in a milk will increases, like during the milk handling, storage and other pre-processing activities. At all the levels, the microflora of the milk will increases. Now it will support the growth of the several including the pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria means that the bacteria which have a capacity to cause a disease. Pathogenic bacteria which have a capacity to cause disease. So that's why this number of the bacteria, pathogenic bacteria will also increases in the milk. Now the next one is your alkaliform bacteria will also increases in a milk. Aerobic spore forming, that is your bacilli, renders the milk alkaline. Example, alkaligenous species, acromobacter, proteolytic bacteria, which produces the proteolytic enzyme and it causes a bitterness and putrefaction. Example, Bacillus subtilis, Proteus vulgaris, Pseudomonas, Staphylococcus in micrococci, etc. Okay, now the next is your gas forming bacteria, like which produces the acid and gas, and due to the production of this acid and gas the milk are spoiled. For example, your coliform bacteria, Cl butyrium, these are what? These are the gas forming bacteria. Now the next one is your acid forming bacteria. Okay, this acid form bacteria fermented the lactose present in a milk. When lactose are fermented, it form a lactic acid, and due to the formation of this lactic acid, curd are formed, and the bacteria which are responsible for this for the production of the lactic acid is the streptococcus lactis, streptococcus facilis, lactobacilli, lacto acid bacteria, etc. Now presence of inert bacteria shows no visible changes. Okay, now the next one is your leuconostoc bacteria. They are what? They are a facultative anaerobes coliform bacteria, and it will grow at 37 degrees Celsius. Optimum growth will occur at 37 degrees Celsius. Now, it can be associated with the presence of milk, but not themselves are pathogens. They are not themselves pathogens, but they are associated with the presence of the milk. And they spoil the milk. That's why this bacteria are called spoilage bacteria. Okay, see, there is a difference between two bacteria, that is your spoilage bacteria and pathogen bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria cause disease in a human being, but the spoilage bacteria spoil the milk, and due to the spoilage of milk, there is this bacteria secrete their toxicity into it, due to which the milk are spoiled and the product are spoiled, and the person who consume it will become ill, as they produce gas acid resulting in the fermentation of the milk. It is killed by a high temperature short time method. High temperature short time method, which means that the temperature range should be at 73 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. Now the example is E. coli. Okay, now the next is your pathogenic microorganism in a milk. See, there are some pathogenic bacteria which have still concern if they are present in a raw milk, like your Escherichia enterocolitica, Bacillus cereus, Salmonella species, Campylobacter jejuni, Listeria monocytogenes, and E. coli 0157H7. Okay, so these are the pathogenic microorganisms which have a concern if they are present in a milk. Okay, because it will create a disease which are very affect the life of the human being. Even like your E. coli, if the E. coli contamination will occur in a raw milk, then it will um, it, it will also become the reason of the death of that person who consumed this milk. Okay, so that's why there is a concern if pathogenic bacteria are present into a raw milk. Now the next is your mold. Okay, so several species of molds are also present in a milk and milk product. Okay, like your aspergillus, penicillium, fusarium. Okay, on a favorable condition, this molds can produce mycotoxin, and this mycotoxin can lead to a health hazard. Okay, now the next is your sources of milk contamination and their Okay, now sources of contamination of milk. Okay, we all know that the first thing which contaminate the milk are what? The surrounding area, and this contamination is occurred during the milking. Okay, so when the farm in a farm, the when a milkman are milking the milk, the surrounded area will contaminate the milk. Okay, so these bacteria are normally present in everywhere, like soil, manure, water, anything, and it will enter from the source to the milk. Okay, and the other sources which contaminate the milk are what? The utensils. Okay, the milk contact surface area, even the milkman, they will also contaminate the milk. Now see what is written in a slide. From the farm, during the process of milking, the milk is contaminated by the surrounding areas. Bacteria are normally present in soil, manure, and water, which may enter from this source. The other two most important sources of the contamination are milk contact surfaces and dairy milk utensils. Okay, now the next is your this included milking machine and milk pail. The bacteria from the source involve psychotrophic, that is your gram-positive bacteria, some thermoduric bacteria like your micrococcus, streptococcus, and clostridium and coliform bacteria. And the other sources of the contamination of the milk are the worker who are milking the milk. Okay, and even the air of the parlor, okay, the flies which are present, because we all know that these microorganisms are what? They are very tiny and they are present in everywhere. Even we are not seeing in our naked eye, but in our hand there is a lots of microorganisms are present. Okay, if we see our hand in a microscope and see that the how many types of sorry, how many numbers of bacteria or microorganisms are present, even we are not going to eat food with our hand. Okay, so that's a common reason of the contamination of the milk. Okay, like other sources like hands or arms of the dairy workers or a milker, the air of the milk parlor or the barn, the fly if the present any. At the manufacturing level, now after the farm, the other possible contamination may occur via transfer pipes, sampling utensil, transfer truck, and the equipment used for the processing. Okay, like in the beginning of the lecture, I already told you. Suppose that this is our equipment, and if any debris of the milk will left and it will not wash with the water, then here the chances of the growth of the microorganism will increases, and this microorganisms transfer to the milk, and that's why it will contaminated the milk. Okay, even the transfer pipe, the sampling utensils, suppose that sampling are done. Okay, a person from a lab are came and they take a sample in a sampling utensil. Now suppose that this is your sampling utensil and this is your milk. Now this bacteria transfer into the milk and it will contaminated it. Okay, tank pumps, pipeline, wards, valves, and separator are the major possible source of the contamination. The level of the contamination is totally depend upon the sanitizing and cleaning methods. Okay, so it's totally, suppose that if you clean this utensil properly, okay, then it will not contaminate the your milk product. You will if you sanitize it, otherwise it will contaminate it. So it totally depend upon how you sanitize or how you clean the manufacturing unit. Animal cleanness, all animals should be kept clean. All lying areas should be efficient size and should be kept clean and dry. Passageway and access route should be free from accumulation of dung and slurry. Field trucks gateway should be well maintained and kept free from accumulation of dung, slurry, and mud. Okay, so all the animals which are present in a farm should be in a clean condition. Okay, if the animals are not clean, even their milk will also contaminated. Okay, even the lying area, they are what they have a sufficient size. Okay, the capacity of the area should be sufficient. Okay, and it will be clean and dry. Okay, passage should be clean, access route should be free from accumulation of any type of dog and slurry. Okay, the field should be clean. Okay, the truck should be clean, even everything should be clean, and everything should be free from any type of that slurry, mud, dug. Okay, the area should not have contain any accumulation of these dung, slurry, and mud. Milking practices. Okay, now milking practices. Milk from each animal must be examined for physical, chemical, and organoleptic abnormality. So every milk. Okay, suppose that if in a farm there are one, two, three, four, and five animals are present, which are which give a milk. So each milk from each animal will be examined, like their physical test should be done, chemical test, organoleptic, to see that any abnormalities and abnormal milk is detected, this milk must be rejected. If any abnormality is there, then that type of milk should be rejected. Teats, udders, and adjacent part must be cleaned before the milking. Hands, contact surface area, milking equipments must be kept clean at all the time. Okay, the milking equipment like milk contact surface area must be appropriately clean and disinfected immediately after each milking. All equipment must be kept clean and in a good condition. So the equipment which are used in a farm, they should be in a good condition. Milk storage and cooling. Milk must be protected from contamination during the transfer and storage. Okay, because when the milk are transfer or storage, their temperature will be changed. because we all know that the milk should be stored between 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, if this temperature are changes, then the chances of the contamination will also increases. So we have to protect the milk during the transfer and storage. Milk must be cooled quickly to minimize the bacterial multiplication. Okay, we all know that this pasteurization are what? Pasteurization, we heat the milk, but after heating, we have to follow the immediately cooling process. Cooling process. Okay. Like in our house, what happened when a milkman give a milk, what should we do? We heat it, and after some time we kept it in the refrigerator so that it will not spoil. Bulk tank must be cleaned and disinfected after each milk collection and kept in a good condition. These control lie in a guidelines of GMP and HACCP method of the food safety, where GMP is what? Good manufacturing processes, and HACCP is hazard analysis and critical control point. Okay, now preservation method like your asepsis, that we all know that the prevention as far as practical of the contamination of the milk is important in its preservation, removal of the microorganisms, okay, and use of heat. Okay, like pasteurization, when we give a 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds, then also microorganism will kill, and ultra for pasteurization temperature like 130 degrees Celsius for 1 second. Okay, removal of microorganisms, if the microorganisms are entered in a milk, then it is very difficult to remove it. So the process of centrifugation, as it clarify or separating, will remove the microorganism from the milk. Okay, or otherwise we simply kill it. Okay, now steam under pressure, use low temperature drying, use of preservatives. So these all the method from which we can preserve the food or eliminate the microorganisms. So this is all about the microflora of the milk equipment. I hope you will understand. If you have any query, you can ask me in a comment box, or for a further detail, you can follow the ITLS Academy on different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and subscribe our channel ITLS Academy on YouTube and get our app from a Google Play. You can also ask your query to the helpline number that are already mentioned in your account, that is 7080833450, or you can visit our website www.itlsacademy.com. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.